Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. I'm so excited to welcome today in studio with us Zahaara Saleh, who is a dedicated volunteer with Islamic have in providing aid and support to Palestinians through the Palestine Emergency Appeal. From the array of pop-ups to the thrilling auction, she will guide us through the Neon Walk, an event that promises to be both enjoyable and meaningful. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
It's such a privilege to have you in studio with us, and I believe this is your very first time on TV, so we're very excited to welcome you to INEX. And just to start our conversation this evening, I mean, you're young, you're impressionable, and you're do across the globe to assist Muslims who are in need all across the world. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what inspired you and what made you want to volunteer with Islamic Relief South Africa, and what inspired that humanitarian need inside of you?
I think what inspires me is a verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah that says, "He who saves a life, it is as if he has saved all of humanity." And I think that as Muslims, it's our duty to help our brothers and sisters around us, especially now with what
Beautifully said. And I hope that having you on the show today will also inspire a lot of other young people all across South Africa to join in and also become a volunteer for Islamic Relief South Africa because of the incredible work that they do and the amazing work you also get to be part of. I mean, we are so blessed to be able to be sitting here safe and sound whilst there are Palestinians across the world who are struggling from things like poverty, from things like lack of access to making that possible, to making the Islamic Relief Appeal possible for Palestine. But the Neon Run is coming up very, very soon, and a lot of people are asking a lot of questions about when is it taking place and what time is it taking place and the venue. Can you share a bit more details and information on the Neon Run that's coming up?
Okay, so the Neon Run hosted by Islamic Relief will take place in Azadville. On Medina Street is where we will begin the walk. The walk will take place after Isha Salah, but after Maghrib Salah we will have an auction. And before that, at 3 o'clock, we'll be having a kiddies corner.
Sounds absolutely amazing. Sounds like a really fun idea and a really nice way to spend an evening with your friends and family. But can you tell us a bit more about what inspired Islamic Relief South Africa to organize an event like this?
I think what inspired us is not only to raise funds and awareness, but also to build a sense of community within Azadville and within the Muslim Ummah as a whole, and make our voices heard in solidarity with the people of Palestine.
Absolutely. I love how these events, beyond the fact that we get to do fun things and we get to get together, but we also get to do it for a good cause and energy to bring the community of Azadville together. I think the biggest question we're also getting from our viewers at home is how do we get a ticket? How do we get involved? Please tell us everything.
Okay, ticket sales will be at the event itself. It's R100 per person, and the ticket includes something neon that you walk with. Yeah, and the walk will be 5 kilometers around Azadville Park to the starting point again.
Something that's really fun for families to do together, for friends to do together. So we don't have to get our tickets beforehand. We can go to the event and get your ticket. But what I also want to talk about is the appeal itself and some of the work that Islamic Relief is doing in Palestine. I mean, we know the degree of suffering to this day, it doesn't matter how many videos I've seen, it doesn't matter how many pictures I've seen, it still hurts me to my core every time I see anyone suffering in Palestine. Are you able to tell us a bit more about what the appeal they are doing in Palestine at the moment?
Islamic Relief has been in Palestine
I mean, beyond what they have done in Palestine, I mean, you said 1997, and I feel really old because that's when I was born in that year. But it just shows how amazing the organization is and the amount of impact they've been able to have in Palestine. Islamic Relief is working actively in these spaces to be able to provide some much needed aid. So what their part?
I think that it has to be about your intention. Your intention has to be to help people, and if that's your intention, you'll just succeed and it will open ways for you. And it's also our duty as Muslims and as
Hope that the young people who are watching us out there now take some inspiration from your journey and from you participating actively in Islamic Relief South Africa. But we have really enjoyed our conversation with you this evening. And in closing, if you could share with us very briefly, what can our viewers at home do to maximize their experience at the Neon Run, and what can they expect?
what you can expect is a night filled with and remember why you're there. You're there for the people of Palestine.
Absolutely. That was very beautifully said. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you for sharing with us and for your inspiration and for encouraging young people to do more to give back. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.